never in a million years imagined that we would be here. So many unanswered questions, so many pieces to the puzzle that we're missing.
Today, February 20th, marks 36 years since a hiker found a woman's body in Brownstone Canyon. Someone raped and murdered her. We still don't know who that someone is. When we first started looking into this story, we didn't know the beginning. We still don't know where it will end. But thanks to the woman's family, Norma Gonzalez's story is being told.
February 1983, the year of the new Thunderbird, and when it's easy to buy your dream home, and the Runnin' Rebels clinch the conference title. Downtown Las Vegas glittered with neon lights, lights that drew people in from all over the country.
The lights and the bling and the hopes and the dreams.
Reagan was president, unemployment was high, and a woman's body is discovered.
The body of a young unidentified woman whose hands were tied behind her back and whose head was soaked with blood was found Sunday in a remote part of Red Rock Recreation Area.
A man and his family were four-wheel driving up in the Red Rock area, taking pictures, and they found her body.
On February 20th. The next day,
a woman whose body was found was identified by authorities as Norma Gonzalez, 24.
Semi-nude, obviously tortured, obviously sexually assaulted, and then they killed her by shooting her.
Police have not revealed a motive in the slaying and have not identified any suspects.
She left the baby with neighbors.
Miss Gonzalez failed to return home to her 7-month-old daughter, Jessica.
And maybe, just maybe, that baby in the article was the one who was meant to crack this open from the very beginning.
Jessica Gonzalez was born in Las Vegas, July 10th, 1982. UMC was Southern Nevada Memorial Hospital then.
This is where I started.
She's never been back.
I never thought I'd be standing here.
Because the only home she's known is the small rural town of Croswell, Michigan.
A lot of farmers.
The same Croswell where Norma was born in 1958, the 7th of 10 kids.
We were always a close family, all of us.
They lived in a house their dad built. Norma dropped out of Croswell High School, worked at a pickle factory, then up and left the backwoods for Boomtown.
There wasn't really much to do back then, and I think that's why she chose to try to find something a little more exciting.
She left her 3-year-old daughter Monica with her parents and moved to Vegas.
Vegas was, excitement.
When Norma had Jessica, she went back to Michigan for a visit.
I always knew she'd be back. After Jessica was born, that was the plan. She wanted to move back, but she didn't get a chance to do that.
4 months later, Norma's younger sister Hilda remembers getting the call.
My dad answered the phone, and he dropped it.
Hilda was a teenager.
Jessica was 8 months old. So my older sister and my brother-in-law flew down here and picked her up.
The Gonzalez family checked in with Metro Police Detective Karen Good through the years.
She was a phenomenal detective.
But the case went cold.
We have nothing. We have no answers. We have no whys.
But Jessica didn't know.
All my life I grew up calling my grandparents mom and dad. It's a lot for a little kid to handle, that your mom was murdered.
Now she's 36 and she wants answers.
I want to know why.
Jessica and Hilda flew to Las Vegas to meet with us.
To hopefully get closure.
This is the closest I'll ever be to Norma, to who she was. I hope standing here on this ground, she realizes that we have done everything that we can for her.
After 36 years, I could not imagine being here where my sister was found.
They just left her.
You were the center of her life.
We introduced them to the 2 cold case investigators, Dan Long.
I mean, you're identical to your mother.
That's what I've heard my whole life.
And Ken Hefner.
As we're getting more accustomed to using DNA, we're finding out, it can be left anywhere.
There is evidence that's still in our evidence vault that may have suspect DNA on it.
She was tortured?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that it was just one person that did this to her?
I would say at least 2, and I'm thinking 2, but I don't know that either.
Why do you think they killed her?
I think it was a predilection. He had tendencies.
Tendencies as into what?
Sexual behavior.
She was a fighter, and she was not going to just sit back and let it happen.
There's a lot saying that she did fight.
It pisses me off that they just threw her out there like she was a piece of garbage.
I agree.
And she wasn't.
She had love in her life.
My heart is a little bit at ease.
She didn't cause anything. This is bad. She's an innocent victim. This shouldn't ever happen to anybody.
Yeah, there's the prospect that regardless of what she did, where she lived, and who she ran with, she could have just been picked.
In learning about Norma's life, Jessica also learned about her own.
Is that where her apartment was? Or our apartment?
In the downtown area on 13th Street.
That one right there?
That one right there. This is my first home. My very first home. 113.
Small little daily, weekly rental.
And that's all she could afford, you're thinking?
Yeah. Right. But she was moving up.
Good for her. Good for her for getting up out of here. I'm proud of her.
She moved over to the Rhett Butler, which is now South Cove.
This is our story. This is where we live. I'm happy to be standing here. I'm happy this was the last place me and Norma were together. This was the last place.
Norma got a job at Friendly's on Fremont before she was kidnapped.
We're walking her story. Like, walking it.
To know that I'm here where she was, it warms my heart. It warms my heart.
To finally know and see the journey that she was on.
But I always wondered what it was that brought her here, but look around.
This is what brought her here.
This is what brought her. These lights they were her hopes and dreams.
If someone has any information that could finish this puzzle, we would be beyond grateful, beyond grateful.
And I'm 36 years old. Who doesn't have the beginning of their own story? But because of this, I do now. And I'm grateful for that.
The investigators are hopeful new DNA technology could point them to the killer. They're waiting on the lab to retest evidence. They're also hopeful someone, somewhere, knows something. If you do, call the Metro Police Cold Case Unit.
It was heart-wrenching when you watch that and you realize that Jessica is hearing the details of how her mother was killed all these years later. And
Right.
the police just have to lay it out for her.
For a good part of her life, she didn't know what happened. She thought her grandparents were her parents, and then she found out she was born in Las Vegas, not in Michigan, and her mother was killed when she was just 7 months old.
Well, we hope she gets justice along with all the truth that she's getting now, too.
Absolutely.